My name is Bio. I'm one of the members of Tats Crew. Where it came about my name was years ago. When I was living in Bronx River Projects, I had a friend who used to write graffiti, and we were in the hallway playing around. Like I used to write Vio, V-I-O. I tried like different names, Bic, B-I-C. And then one day we were like in the stairway of the projects, and he was like, yo, why don't you try B-I-O? So he took a B-I-O tag, and he had like really nice hand style. And when I saw the letters, I was like, oh, I like those letters, and sort of just, stuck with the name. I kept practicing it, the B-I-O, and it just became my name. I had to be like late 1979, early 1980. It was like towards the end of 79. I remember we just hanging out in the project hallways, just chilling, bullshit and hanging out, whatever. For me, my style, I think, is just a mix of everything. I don't really stick to one style somewhat. I kind of like, sometimes I'll do simple styles, sometimes I'll try wild styles, block letters, whatever. It depends how I feel. I don't really try to do the same piece all the time. And for me, it's just about fun, playing with the colors, and just, obviously, I have some style that all my pieces will look similar, or at least done by the same person, but I try not to fit into one particular style. I don't know, it's just something I enjoy doing, You paint for so many years, you think you will get tired, but every year, new writers come out, you see new stuff, Howard Nazem, came into the crew, they brought new life, they come with all this energy, and you're like, when you feel you've done and over, and you see these guys just on a mission painting, you're like, you know what, I could still paint too. I want to paint, I enjoy painting. Why do I need to stop? Why do I need, to hold back? So I just, continue painting, and like I said, you see new artists popping out around the world, you get new ideas, and you learn even from the new artists that are popping. Like guys have been painting 5 years. It's not about, I've been painting, say, 30 years, and I can't learn from somebody who's been painting 5 years. I don't think that enters the picture at all, Graph has been, for me, it's just basically been my life for the past 30 years. It's pretty much involved in everything I do. My life, my livelihood is from graph. I do it all the time. Even when I'm not painting, working, I continue to do it, for personal reasons. Originally, it was TAT, and it was Tough Ass Team, or Top Artistic Talent. And the crew was founded by Brim, Mac. The early members were Brim, Mac, Bass, myself, and then, later on it was Nisa, BG, Maze, Raz, Ken, Sem, Shane 125th, Volcan, with a lot of the early members. There's more. Always somebody gets left out, but if I left you out, you were there, it was just, again, it was just an idea. I remember, I think we were in 116th, 117th. Mac used to live over in Harlem, and we were chilling in his building, and Brim was like, yo, I got this idea for a crew. And it was like TAT, and back then, you had like 3-letter crews. You had TNT, TMT, you had TLP, you had all these 3-letter T crews, So we were like, we're gonna do TAT. And because it's the first letter of the alphabet, and we were just doing TAT, and that's what it became. Brim and Mac started bombing insides with the crew. Then later on, we came in and started doing more like outside. We started piecing outside. We sort of focused in the beginning on the insides and throw-ups, but then we started to develop and do pieces like, doing cars with colors. And we sort of caught like the end of the blue and silver trains when the MTA started painting them white. And once they started painting them white, a lot of the older writers, they didn't really want to mess with the white trains anymore. They sort of like, oh, yeah, whatever, They started fading out, and that's when we just sort of just jumped into the mix and started, going after all the white trains. And we were like, for us, it was just open canvas, We had all the space in the world. How do you stay tight-knit, and how do you stay together after so many years? Of course, like any family, any situation, you're gonna have problems, you're gonna have arguments. But I think the key is to be able to work through it and talk as friends. We really are friends. Like the entire crew is family and friends. Yeah, we argue, we fight, but we're able to work through our differences when we need to see the bigger picture, We may get on each other's nerve, talk shit about each other, what have you, but at the end of the day, we all we got for each other, We're not only bound by painting. Like a lot of crews or whatever, a lot of writers stick together only for writing reasons. Yeah, we paint together, but we also do everything else together. Like we go to family functions, we do whatever, we hang out in each other's cribs, like we really do all that stuff. And people was like, you know, I don't know, we've just been together so long. These are, you know, apart from being your friends, co-workers, and fellow artists, they're just, you know, people that have been in your life for more than 20 years or so. It depends. We paint so often that, you know, on any given production, anybody takes the lead. It all depends on who has the most energy that day, whose idea was it, who wants to take the lead that day, you know, who feels they're up for it that day. I mean, for us, it's not, you know, one person dictates how it goes down. It really is just a toss-up of ideas, and, you know, either we like the idea as a group or not. And even if sometimes we don't like the idea, we'll be like, you know what, whatever, I'm not crazy about the idea. But, you know, I'll do my part. We all do our part, you know, and that's the way it works. You know, it's something that, it's not like we do one mural and that's it. We paint all the time. So for us, it's like, all right, you can have this mural, you can have the idea for the next 4 murals. I really don't care. For us, it's something that we do every day, so it's not something that we dwell upon and say, oh, how great of accomplishment this is for us. For us, it's just another day of doing what we do. You know, we paint. You know, at the end of the day, we paint. Pretty much, it's open. We've been doing this such a long time. A lot of people always giving us directions on we should be doing this, we should be doing that. I mean, I'm pretty sure at some point we'll touch on all markets, wherever we feel we need to be. I mean, we've always been wherever we need to be at the moment. You know, we have years and years. We have 30 years worth of photos, so definitely books and stuff like that, documentation. Not so much for our own glorification, just for documentation purposes, to create a 30-year book of all the members who've been involved in Tats Cru, all the stuff that we've done that a lot of people don't even know that we've been a part of. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we've done that people don't know we've done. And we have documentation, you know, even from the early days, from the very beginning to you know, the times from the point when Howie Nazem came into the picture, all the stuff they bring from Germany, you know, Totem, like all these guys alone have a whole following in their own stuff, but together as a whole unit, it just makes it a bigger history and a bigger impact on the whole craft culture in itself, you know? How does that happen? I mean, that's just something that naturally happens. It's not a process, like we don't have any rituals or anything. It was just, again, we're a group that's just brought together by friendship. We met them, they were great artists. But apart from them being great artists, we just clicked as friends on a personal level. So it wasn't about, oh, I'm going to hang with this person because this person paints well. I met a bunch of people that are great artists, but they assholes at the same time. And I don't want to hang out with you just because you paint good. But, you know, so, you know, we met Howie Nazem in '97. They had traveled to New York for the first time. And, you know, we met them and we just hit it off, you know. They kept visiting back and forth over the next few years, and then I believe in '99 they decided to come to New York and stay here. And, you know, once they were here, you know, me, myself, Nice, and BG, we were painting a lot of stuff, but with the additional help of Howie Nazem, we were able to accomplish so much more, you know. And I think that enables you when you have 5 people instead of 3 or 2, you know, you're able to accomplish so much more because everybody's on that same page. Everybody's sort of driving for that same goal, you know? And you know, at the end, it doesn't benefit one person, it benefits all of us, so. I mean, so many walls. I don't think there's any really one that stands out like that. I mean, for me, like the last wall we do is usually my favorite, you know? When I always get asked that question, it's like, what's your favorite wall? I'll be like, the one we did yesterday, you know? So it doesn't, like, there's no one wall that I can say I love that much.
You might be able to say which one is nicest, best wall, or I don't know.
Right, like it's something like that.
Okay.
Like,
you know, you criticize your own work more.
Yeah, better question. Like you have your favorites, you know, and certain people, like there's certain walls that people have done. They're like, oh, this is one of my favorite walls that you have done. Like for instance, that's a good point. Nisa did a wall once where he did like these body parts. He chopped up these body parts. He did his name in body parts, and that was like became like a classic wall for him. Like, whoa, nice. He just literally killed it on this one, you know. You know, walls like that. And then, you know, within the crew, you know, you have your times when there's been certain guys in the crew have done a wall, and you're like, wow, that's like. Recently, I think this year, last year, Han Nazem had did a few walls, like a Space Invader theme wall and the Pac-Man. You know, it was like arcade game walls, and that was simple, just simple. It wasn't like about style. It was more about the concept and the idea. And I thought, you know, those walls like that for me, you know, stand out, and they become what I consider classic walls. You know, Totem did a wall where he did like his name in flames. When I saw that wall, I was like, killed it, you know, like that's fire. So, you know, for me, I don't, my own walls I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, like I said, I paint. I enjoy painting, and you know, and I guess in the years to come, people see what we did. We existed. This was the style we produced at the time, and this is our legacy. This is our artwork. The pictures will speak for themselves, or the images will speak for themselves.